Hi, my name's Dan, and this video is one in a series that I'm doing about weapons, which is in turn part of a suite of videos that I'm doing about video game design. So when I'm talking about weapons, I'm talking about them in the context of video games and the design of weapons and weapon sets for video games. I'm not talking about real-world weapons much, and the use of weapons in the real world is completely outside my remit of what I'm doing here. So this one is basically it's an introduction to this set of videos, which are looking at weapons and what you need to think about as a designer when incorporating weapons and deciding what weapons to use in your games. This video really exists because I feel the need in all my sets of videos to have something that lays out the basics. But I think we pretty much understand the basics of weapons, which is they're there to hurt people with, or animals, or whatever our adversaries are. And we might want to hurt people up close, and that's called melee combat, and that'll be weapons like swords and big thumpy sticks, and maybe even your fists. And you might want to hurt people at a distance, and so that's called ranged combat, and you would have things like bows and guns and thrown items like knives and grenades and so on. And you may want to hurt people at a big distance, and so you get things like missiles and bombs and stuff like that. And these are all I guess classified under the category of weapons. You knew all that. I didn't have to tell you this. If you're playing games, you know these things instinctively anyway, but most people understand what weapons are. So the other thing I'm going to do in this video, rather than blather on a lot about obvious stuff, is I'm going to try introduce what the rest of this series of videos is going to be looking at. So coming up, I'm going to do a video on design thoughts. So some kind of general outline thoughts that might be useful in conceiving weapons and what weapons should be used in your game design. I'm going to talk specifically about guns, specifically about fantasy weapons, and specifically about unusual weapons. And those three videos are going to be pretty much kind of cataloguing the sorts of things that are available or that you might be thinking about. I'm going to be doing a video on the real history of weapons in the real world. I hesitate to say that it would be in any way comprehensive. I want to give the outline ideas of the way weapons have developed in the real world as a historical context. Sometimes games are historical, and so a need for some understanding of this stuff comes to light. I want to talk about weapon sets, which is how you think about not just one single weapon, but how you think about all the weapons that are available to the player and how they kind of complement each other. I want to think about the subject of ammo management. That's coming up in a video, and unlocking weapons. So that's about progress and getting access to different weapons as you progress through the game. And then weapon modifications, which is a thing that only appears in some games, but is worthy of a video of its own to talk about it. I reserve the right to add more videos onto the end of the series as I see fit, and but that is probably the majority of the content that I'm going to cover, and I have plans for all these videos coming up. So feel free to dip in where you want to dip in, or to watch the whole series through at your own leisure. I'm just going to say that's it from me for now.